Hey guys, Angel here. I don't know how well you can hear me. I put my earbuds in because it's kind of loud in here. The washer and dryer is going, and it's just I don't know, just the distance from me from the iPad to me is pretty far, so it probably doesn't pick up. So I put my earbuds in because it should catch my voice better. Well, I'm back home. I We got back probably a few hours ago. Um, there was an incident. We literally were maybe 20 some miles away from like Omaha and Maple and everything, which is close to where we live. And we there's a bridge, like when you're going into Omaha, there's a big blue bridge that you have to cross over. And we sat there for like 30 minutes because this truck that was like hauling dead carcasses and like dead animals and not dead bodies, but just dead animals and stuff like that. Something happened to where it like leaked out, it tipped over or something, but they ended up getting whatever happened, the truck got out of the way, but they had to clean up the whole area just so that cars could go through. I don't know exactly what happened, but all I know is because it was so hot, my mom rolled down all the windows, and when we were driving across the bridge, this stench of just death was literally, it smelled like something was dead. And there was stuff on the ground and stuff like that. So, and there was a big semi that was parked a little ways up that was on the side of the road. So, my mom said when she saw it, there was like dead carcasses of animals that were like hanging out of the side of it. So I'm guessing it spilt or something like that because that my mom literally, she dropped me off. I came in and she went and got her car washed because we smelled that. Like her car smelled of just like dead, rotted animals. It was the worst smell I'd ever smelled in my life, but it was kind of cool because I was literally like a couple of days earlier, I think just before I left for to go to court and stuff like that. Um, I was talking about Halloween, but I never uploaded it because it was just like it was only like partial video. But I was literally just thinking about Halloween, and I was like, that smell would be like perfect if like everything smelled like that for Halloween. Everybody would probably be freaking out. But it was a really horrible smell. But that's something that happened when we were on our way back home. That's the dryer going off. Um, but like I said, court went pretty well. I'm not happy with what happened and with the situation and just everything. Um, my brother's charge, which was a charge of domestic battery, domestic violence for a nick on his lip, was dropped. The charge with the bothering or whatever with the tenant was dropped, and the charge of trespassing on Casey's was dropped. I did get I never knew this until literally the day that I went in there on the 20th, and my lawyer told me that I was charged with resisting a peace officer. I never do that. I was thought I was charged with trespassing on Casey's, and that wasn't the charge, or it was, but they also charged me with resisting a peace officer, which they dropped all the other three and charged me with that. And I don't even remember the resisting a peace officer. The story to that was the police came because it was later at night when I went over to the Casey's and just asked them to leave me alone, and they got an attitude, so I got an attitude back, and they called the police. They acted like they knew who I was, and I had no clue. I had only the two girls that were working that night, I had only known them just because I'd been in Belvedere for 20 years, and they were all people that I've seen around. They're not the best quality of people, but I didn't know them personally. And so anyways, so when I went back home after they called the police came. It was later at night. The police came over, and one of the officers, I was talking to an actual police officer and a sheriff. I looked towards the door that was ajar because they were holding it open because there was like three or four of them standing by my door talking to me, and he wasn't even a part of the whole situation. He was just kind of there, and he was a sheriff. His name was Sheriff Parker or Officer Parker. I've seen him throughout the times that I've been in trouble or gotten arrested. Um, and he just like looked at me when I looked towards the door, and he shook his finger at me, and then he like just busted. He literally like opened my door really like belligerently and like put his arm around my neck and took me outside of my door like I was like trying to run or something. And they've done this before where I was just standing there and they took me to the ground and put me in handcuffs like I was someone who was going to run from the police, which I never do. And I don't run from my problems. I actually try and confront them if I know about them. I try and confront them. But I guess he said that when that happened, that I pulled away from him, so they charged me with resisting, which I probably did pull away, but probably because I was scared to death because I literally was almost in tears and shaking when I was talking to the officer about the situation because I was so high strung about what had happened and how the two women at the Casey's had talked to me really bothered me, and I was just out of my own realm or my own self. So, but that's what happened. And I guess they charged me because he said that I tried to resist his arrest, which nobody even said that I was under arrest until after he took his arm or off around my neck. And I have pictures of the bruises that he left on my arm when he grabbed my arm and started putting me in handcuffs. So nobody said anything about me being under arrest. There was no, oh, you're under arrest. It was just, he just came in and took me out of my house, and then after he took his arm off around my neck, he said, "Now you're under arrest," and started putting handcuffs on me. But I physically had bruises on my arm from where his you can see where his fingers were, and I still have that picture. I think I don't know if I might have deleted it by now, but it might still be on my phone. But I couldn't believe that I had bruises. I mean, I'm sensitive, but I mean I'm a pretty strong chick, so but he ended up he grabbed my arm and then he went for my wrist to put cuffs on me, and they didn't show up until after I got back home. I looked at my arm and I had finger marks from where he grabbed my arm, and they were from his hand grabbing my arm, so that he thought I was going to run or something. But that's what happened. So just because they dropped all the other charges and they weren't going to do probation or anything, and it was a $34 fine, I don't really care that it's on my record because I don't really care. You can put that I'm a murderer on my record, and I don't really care because most people are self-sufficient, and they know that if they know who you are and they know the situation, if the person doesn't know who you are, you shouldn't be talking to the person anyways. That means you're just talking to a stranger and you could be in danger, so you're endangering your life. But you know, that's just me, and people do what they want. But like I said, I don't really mind that it's on my record. But they weren't doing probation, and it was like $34 that I had to pay plus a $4 charge because my mom used her card. So my mom just paid for it as soon as we got out of court, and that was that. So and then we stayed the night because it was later in the day, so we just stayed that night, and then in the morning we got up and we drove back home, back to Omaha. So yeah, that's what happened. It's a long story. Like, I've been arrested physically 9 times, 8 or 9 times, 9 times. Um, but I only have 5 charges. I have, what is it? I think I have 5 actual charges that are on my record from when I've been arrested. And they're all misdemeanors. And the resisting a peace officer is a class A misdemeanor. So I mean they for a class A misdemeanor, you could have been put into jail up to a year and stuff like that. So, you know, but that was my trip. You can check out Road Trip that I just uploaded to my YouTube channel, the Spellbook Boutique channel. Um, that I just uploaded that, and that was my trip when we went down the first time for court, and then we found out that it wasn't until the 20th that they pushed it back a little bit more. And then it was both the trips that I made to Illinois for court, and we cleaned out the storage shed the first time. We just ended up going anyways and cleaning up the storage shed, and then we went to court on the 20th. So I'm done now. It still hasn't hit me that I don't have to like that I can drink and stuff like that because before, since last September, I wasn't allowed to drink, no drugs, obviously, nothing like that. So it's like it's kind of like you're free again because you weren't in jail, but you had the obligation that you had to make it to court every month or whatever the court dates were, and you had to abide by the court, what they did stipulated and stuff. So, um, but they did do the fitness test, which I was caught by surprise by how they did it because I didn't know they put me through a fitness test before and they didn't do it the same way that they did it this time. So I'm glad I dressed up. I dressed up. I had a white dress on and I curled my hair and did my makeup and wore a matching a pair of white sandaled shoes and stuff like that. But because usually I don't have very like nice dresses and stuff like that. I literally wear like this. This is just a onesie and stuff like that. I wear things that are comfortable. So I dressed up really nice, which I had to stand there and answer a bunch of questions because they had a people. It's just it's amazing how people can just make a comment and it's like that's the belief of what it is. It's like I in my situation, that's just the way my life is. So I say something and people have to like second guess everything, but that's just my luck. But yeah, it's like, and I know that I'm a smart person, I did very well in school. Up until about high school when I met a group of girls that are not a part of my life anymore. Um, I no longer talk to any of them. I don't allow them in my life. I don't want them in my life. They're never going to change. And before it was kind of like I didn't know if they were going to change or if that was really how they were. So I was like learning that they're this way, but they're just not my cup of tea. They're not people that I would like to. They get me into a lot of trouble. They do things that I don't physically do. Um, and then I don't think they should be doing either, but that's for their own parents to decide and the police and stuff like that to decide what happens to them. Um, you know, just how what they do or what they find out they're doing or whatever. Because I haven't talked to them in about 10, 11 years now. It's been a long time since about high school. I haven't 15, it's been about 15 years since I went to high school or was in high school, and I really haven't talked to them since high school. So it's been a long time. I mean, I don't suggest some of them that they're not really the sweetest of people. They will backstab you if they can. They look out a lot for themselves, I guess. But I guess that's how friendships go today, which is why I don't talk to people anymore. But that's about it. I mean, I just wanted to make a YouTube video, let you guys know that I'm home now. Um, I don't know what I'm going to be doing now that I'm free and now we don't have the confinements of all these court dates and have to because I was focusing all of my attention. I literally stopped everything. And would just focus on court and what needs to be done or what I have to do and all of that stuff. So you know, it's just it's just a lot. It's looking back on the last 20 years of my life since I was 15, um, and literally met people, just started making friends or meeting people, or when I got into school in eighth grade until now, it's a lot. It's just, but I've gotten over it. I used to get really mad. I used to get really, 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 really upset about that. And when I first moved in here, I was crying a lot. I would go in my room and just like lay there and be like, how did this happen to me? I'd come into the living room and look at my old senior picture and just remember how life felt and how free I was because there was a time that I just felt that I was just literally like I was already still in jail and I was out in my house. I was in my apartment by myself. No one was around me. I literally felt like I had 15 million people that were all jam-packed into my house, and I was just constantly having to work and do things, and everything that I didn't want to do, I had to do, and everything I wanted to do, I couldn't do. And it was just a lot, like, but I've grown up a lot. I've learned that, the arrests and stuff like that when I first was arrested affected me a lot, but I'm things are healing. I'm getting through it, and yeah, it's just the last 20 years, which is why I moved out of the state, because I was surrounded by the people that started most of this stuff in my life, and I needed to get away from them because I no longer talk to them. I've tried to mend ways or fix things or show them what was needed or what was done and prove to them certain things, and they just don't care. So I moved to Omaha. I don't know where I'm going now. I want to get an apartment again. Um, I've been thinking about it. I've been talking like, oh no, I don't want to get an apartment in Omaha and stuff like that. But I've been thinking, as a single woman, no kids, and stuff like that. And if I got an apartment, it'd probably be smart to get one close to my mom and dad, which would be here in Omaha, Nebraska. So I don't know. I mean, because I don't moving back to Illinois is a beautiful state, but it's not where I want to be with my life. It's not. I'm gonna plug my iPad in because it says that the battery's low. So I'm gonna see. I don't know if this will fit. I'm gonna move you a little bit. Um, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna flip this. And now it's upside down. Sorry, guys. I just flipped you upside down. I tried to turn it because the charger part is over on the other side, but it didn't flip like I was hoping it would. I'm trying to plug it in because it said my battery was low. No. Hopefully that'll work a little bit. Ooh, sorry. Anyways, but yeah, that's about it. I don't know where I'm going. I want to move to Texas, just to be closer to family and stuff like that, but it's something I have to think about. Um, I have to wait for a couple of things to see what my dad's doing with work and what the financial state is, what that looks like. Just to, be able to afford rent and utilities and, any other bills and stuff like that. Because when I went down there the first time to Illinois, I literally threw everything out of everything that I had, all the furniture that's in there, all being junked. So I would have to just get all brand new stuff, new couches, new chairs, new dining table. I'd have to get, just pictures for the walls, new, like bowls and plates and spoons and knives and all that stuff. So, yeah. But we're hitting almost 20 minutes on this upload, and I'm gonna let you go for now. I'm getting kind of tired. I need to go to sleep and just call it a day. I just took a almost 9-hour ride in a car, which I've done 4 times in the last week, so it's pretty annoying. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Like, subscribe, comment, press the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.